The chances are, if you are watching this, you are absolutely at the end of your tether from trying to seat a tubeless tyre on a rim using a floor or a track pump. Guys, I am going to give you the hands down best ever hack I've ever come across to get that done at your home, so you'll never have to go to your local bike shop and beg to borrow their compressor again. Welcome back to The What Life. Let's get into it. So firstly, this video is timestamped, so you will be able to just jump straight to the hack. And as soon as you see it, I know that you'll probably just stop watching, click off, go to your hardware store, and then every single time you try and seat a tubeless tyre, you will do this. I'm not going to gatekeep it, guys. We're going to get straight into it. This is a freshly mounted Challenge Criterium RS tyre, notoriously hard to seat and hard to get on a rim. They are handmade in Italy. They are chef's kiss beautiful. So this is the tyre that I use the most. I have it in a tan wool and a black. The first thing you need to do is get your tyre on the rim, but make sure you have a tubeless valve installed already, obviously. Get a little bowl of washing up liquid with some warm water. Just rinse your fingers in it and then just kind of get it in along against the tyre and the wheel. That's just going to help kind of provide a little bit of kind of liquidity so that we can get this bad boy seated properly. You might have seen another video where I've tried to seat these tyres using a compressor pump, like a chamber pump, which didn't work. We put that up to 160 PSI. This hack you can do at home just using your floor pump and ultimately our little hack tool that I'll show you in a second. So this tyre is ready to go. We are basically in the middle of the wheel and there is some fairy liquid in there to loosen it up a little bit. Right, this is the absolute best hack I've ever come across. This is basically just normal sellotape. It's a roll of sellotape that I got from the hardware store that you basically use to kind of box up things. Super, super cheap. I mean, you've pretty much seen it now. All you're going to do is wind it round a whole bunch of times, like 4 or 5 times. Just pump it up. That's going to keep the tyre from inflating vertically and it's going to expand outwards and it's going to pop it on to the bead of the wheel. So you're going to seat your tyre and then you can undo it and put your sealant in. Previously, you know, I have not managed to seat these tyres without using like a compressor pump, having to put sealant in. The sealant then kind of pops out all the little holes and it basically destroys, not destroys, but covers the tyre in sealant. And then my white wool tyres are just an awful, awful kind of color of sealant slash white wool and it doesn't look great. Every single time I seat a tyre now, I'm basically going to do this from the off. And you can do this with a track pump. So the reason this works is because the sellotape not only stops it from expanding vertically, but you can use it by just kind of edging it around to form a little bit of a seal at the same time. And it's honestly the most genius thing that I have ever come across when it comes to seating a stubborn tyre. And I will be surprised if anyone goes back to buying kind of compressor pumps or anything like that. I'm going to show you how I do it now. All you're going to do is put the sellotape on, make sure it's really, really tight and go round like 4 or 5 times, cut it, and then we're going to start using the track pump to expand the tyre, pump up the tyre, put in maybe 60, 70, 80 PSI until it pops onto the tube. But honestly, from now on, I will never not be doing this. Once you've made sure it's nice and tight and you've done what you think is probably enough loops, it's time to give this a go. Right, here is the moment of truth. See whether we can get this seated and to pop. Here we go. I mean, it's going up already. This is, honest to God, the best hack I've ever done. It's probably not quite on yet. You can probably a few more pops. Let me just switch out the camera angle so I can get stood up and do this properly. There we go, a few pops, a few more. That has to be it. We're only at 70 PSI. Don't want to go too much higher. But the next thing we can do is just check the rim to see whether it's seated properly. And what we're looking for is basically just any indication that the line of the tyre is sitting low within the wheel. And if it's not doing that, then it should be fine. So the best thing to do now is actually just leave this on. You can see the washing up liquid kind of that has helped seat the tyre just kind of pushing out a little bit. Maybe we are not quite seated in some spots, so I might whack a little bit more pressure through it, but you know, leave that for 10-15 minutes. If it goes down, then you probably got a bit of an issue. Wait for that kind of fairy liquid to dry, and then you're gonna have to take out your valve core and you can put some sealant in. But hands down, like absolutely the most insane hack I've ever come across when it comes to seating a tubeless tyre. And I would recommend doing it this way, even if you think it's gonna seat easily. Track pump, I mean, you saw me doing it. I was sat down for the first half of it, just pumping it up. And I've never, ever come across something so easy to seat a tyre. Hands down, guys. Get yourself a roll of packing sellotape, nice and wide, wrap it round. Honest to God, absolute game changer for seating a tubeless tyre. If it's helpful, guys, drop a thank you down below. That's it, we're gonna leave it there. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for sticking around.